Hello, everyone. We are glad to have a very special guest, Mr. Nagendar K, who is the Deputy General Manager and Project Manager at Bharat Electronics Limited. In this interview, we will be delving into his background, experience, leadership skills, decision making strategies, and more. We are excited to learn from his journey and get insights from him. Welcome to you, sir, and thanks for joining us today in spite of your busy schedule. Over to you, Danush.
Good evening, sir. So let me just start off the interview with a general question as to uh, inquiry about the background and your experience. So the first question goes like this. Sir, can you tell about your career journey?
Yeah, good evening, all. To start with, the career journey as such, if you say, I joined BEL as a probationary engineer, which is a normal course of recruitment. It was a campus recruitment. So, after my graduation in engineering, I was selected through campus recruitment. I joined BEL in 2005. So, post that, progressively stage by stage we progressed as per the what you call elevation matrix of the company. So with the total of 19 years of service as of now, so I've reached this position of DGM now.
Sir, where did you like study and like are you from Karnataka itself or some other state?
I am my mother tongue is Kannada, so I'm basically from Bangalore. But
Oh,
the point is, I did only my engineering in Bangalore. My primary, second, and secondary education is from other states. Dad was
Ashik.
in,
Ashik over here is also from Mangalore itself, sir.
pardon?
Ashik here is also from Mangalore.
No, I'm from Bangalore. I'm not
You're
from.
from. Okay.
Okay, so dad was in sales, so it was a transferable job for him. My primary education was from MP Bilai, then secondary higher education from Salem, Tamil Nadu. Engineering, I came to Bangalore.
Oh, okay. So let me just ask the second question. So, what is your primary responsibilities in the current role that you have? Sir?
Say currently as DGM, as a DGM as such, it is not a specific role as a DGM. So basically, the department or the division wherein we are working, we deal or we handle projects, we execute projects. In the sense, starting from getting a what you call getting a order or securing a order, executing the order, and post that sales realization and the revenue realization. So end to end, we need to do. So basically, my role here is as a project manager and execution of projects. So within the timelines and with the help of other services groups across the organization, we need to execute and realize the sale and revenue. That's what is the role. Basically, as a project manager.
Sir, how did your role evolve through the stages? Like, first, did you like what role did you join, and how many years it took you to come to this current role?
It is not that straightforward. It is not the escalation or the elevation didn't happen in that fashion. Say when we joined the organization, we basically joined as engineers, wherein we had a learning phase. We were not handling the projects; rather, we were part of the execution. Okay, so
Yes.
we were executing the objectives at site. Objectives can be it depends on the project. No, it is it. Say I never got into a manufacturing based project. I since my tenure of within BL, I always was part of the scenario wherein we had to execute the project outside the company, that is at site. So
Oh,
during the initial days, the projects we were involved in execution phase, learning phase. That's how it went on. And as the course moved on, we next elevation was we used to submit the bids in the sense whenever there was a requirement from the market, normally we secure the orders based on tendering. So company secures the order based on tendering. So we had to prepare the tenders. We call it techno commercial bids. So we had to prepare. So that brought in additional knowledge of, say, understanding the end to end requirement of the customer and how you deal with it. So a lot of tools we used to learn that phase. That was the second phase. Now we have entered into the phase that say we need to manage the project end to end and inclusive. Say till now we were not responsible, or you can say not responsible for sales in the sense monthly target or the yearly target, the roll on plan targets, all that. So at this position now we are being made responsible even for getting achieving that monthly or yearly targets, including the realization of sales, realization of revenue, in the sense whatever you are executing you need to fetch money, and that money we need to what you call ensure the customer pays that as well. So to that extent, so that's how the transition came into.
Okay, so thank you. So the next few questions will be on the leadership and management skills. So, like, how would you like, what would you classify your management style as? Like, do you think like you are strict or you are too friendly or too
Your
supportive?
management style, you cannot stick to what you call uh, theoretically defined management styles will not work in practical scenarios. You need to jump between the various styles. Yes, during our training sessions we have learned about various management styles, all based on theoretical scenarios, that this is what you can be autocratic, you can be bureaucratic, you can be say what you call coaching based, you can be supportive. That's fine, but it all depends on which situation you are, what resources you have, and whom are you dealing with, in the sense whether it is say you can say based on the resources available, your management style needs to change, because ultimate goal for you is to achieve the target or achieve the goal, achieve the vision, all that. So in that scenario, your management style will keep shifting from some point of time. Say as soon as you take a project, you need to first understand yourselves. You need to get into a management style as if you need to coach your team. You need to be a as if you need to train your team on that. Once you come to a conclusion that the team is sufficiently educated on what needs to be done, all that, later on you can be on the supportive position. The team will execute. You only need to support them, guide them, and direct them, or show them the path. You need to make those what you call, you basically, when the resources are available and resources are continuously available with you for a period of time, you will evaluate, or you will come to know based on your expertise, all that, that what is the potential of your resource. So you need to tap it, motivate them, and make them achieve. So even at this stage, if we are pitching in and executing it, then we are still engineers. So at this stage of being a manager, or at the project or a product manager or a portfolio manager level, we need to get things done. For that, you have a team, and the team will work for you only when you have control on the subject. You listen to them, you support their need, and you motivate. So it more majorly becomes like you are aware of the things, but you don't put your hands on it. Okay,
True,
that's how the things happen. So
true,
management
sir.
style, you keep shifting based on the resources and the situation and the goal. So you cannot finalize or strict to one particular style.
Yeah, sure. Then here, can you share an example where you like face a challenge, uh, like where you handled something very complex sort of situation, like where you came up with an like very challenge situation where you have to deal with a lot of things.
You mean to say as a manager or as
Yeah.
an engineer?
Uh, it would be good if you share both.
No, as an engineer, it will be more like a what you call a site related activity, or say as an engineer, you will always have an execution level problems. As a manager, you will have decision level problems or engaging the team level problem. So, say, point is this, no? Doing things are rather easier than getting things done. And if the resources are internal for you, who are well aware of the restrictions or the guidelines, the policies inbuilt in the system, so getting things done from them is rather more difficult. That's why they say doing. That's how, if you see, the entire industry is shifting towards subcontracting of work. That's one of the reasons, because subcontracting, you are not responsible to get it done through your people. You need to only manage others who are not part of your system. So managing the others not part of system is rather easier, wherein the other who's part of your system, he'll not listen to you, basically. So during the engineering phases, a lot of execution related problems. Say overnight you need to deliver something, probably the system is not working, the what you call, you do not have the codes ready, you need to demonstrate a module to someone, your codes are not working, you're working on the codes overnight, your hardware is not working, you're working on the hardware overnight, say the material has not reached the site. So these are all execution related problems which need to be handled with the support of your team logistics, and to best possible, if it is locally available, compensate or arrange and get it done. Somehow get it done is what is a solution at that point of time. But when you come to a managerial level decision, the complex situation lies is you need to facilitate. The person at the site will simply come back to you telling that things are not available, tell me what I have to do. So the decision or the how you get it done, it lies on you. For an example, there was a case wherein, say, mm, my team my team is at the site, say at the borders, in the sense we were doing a particular project for say, we can say, mm, Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, we are doing a particular project for Ministry of Home Affairs, wherein the team was supposed to collect certain uh, personalized data of the citizen. Okay, that was the scenario. So open public, say the module is say, I think you would have seen any election campaign or Aadhaar enrollment campaign, for an example, right?
Right.
Say the crowd is plenty waiting in a queue, your camp is already available, you have set up the camp well with all backups, DG set is there, UPS is there, your systems are there, your manpower is deployed, all is good going. Suddenly there are people coming, you need to take photographs. That's a basic requirement of the application, basic requirement of your project. But the person who is coming for acquiring their photograph, typically you can say she was a Muslim lady, typical Muslim lady, and she's in burqa. We didn't have any lady operator in the site, but you need to capture the photo. And for that reason, we had to simply ask her to remove the burqa and capture a photo. We had to, that's part of the system. But that became a chaos because it went on to, say, uncontrollable situation where law and order came. Say, a Muslim lady, how can you ask her to remove a burqa? So, this scenario at site, the operators had to literally run away from the site. Otherwise, they would have been, because the entire area was at majority with them. What will that guy do? So how do you handle? He simply calls us back, telling that this is a problem, and he is raised his hand at site. How do you manage? We are sitting at, say, 500 600 kilometers apart. Site situation we are not aware, in the sense the gravity of the situation, we can only feel the emotions and understand the gravity of the situation. So that point of time we could only handle is, first thing, you need to secure your people, you need to secure your equipment. That's the first priority. Second, third thing lies on how do you convince the people, because tomorrow you have to go and get this things done also. So first thing what we did is we asked him to pack up immediately, come out of the site. We spoke to the district administration. got the security for him so that teams could come out. After that, it took us almost say 1 week to explain people what is this, why this is being done, what is the background of it. We got into the say what you call leaders or your community leaders. Then we understood their problem. We hired lady operators. So all this were decisions to be taken at say at a next stage or at a higher level. So that took time for us. That's what the so this is one such situation which we had to handle, both at the site level as well as at the say managerial position. I think it was too lengthy, but that's how it was.
Okay. It truly is a challenging situation, sir. So, handing over to Tanmay.
Good evening, sir. I'm Tanmay. So I would like be asking some questions based on your decision making and the strategy skills. So, what strategies did you employ to ensure that your team meets their goals and objectives?
Yes, strategies to make achieve goals, and that's what the question, right? What strategy do we deploy for the team to achieve the goals, right?
Yes, sir.
If I have understood correctly.
Yes, sir.
Here, first thing is, as far as I could, or the way we are handling it, make sure that the team understands the goal correctly and the impact of that goal on a larger per se. Okay, you cannot be making people work in silos if you need to deliver an entire system. If you are delivering a module, yes, he can be working, the one person can be working on say software separately, one can be working on hardware separately. But when you are talking on a project delivery or a project of that scale, the system, what you call, from top to bottom, everyone should first understand what is the project requirement and what role is that resource playing, and how crucial is that role for the entire project. That's the first requirement as far I could understand. That's the first thing. You need to make him understand his importance and his work, what he's doing, importance of that work. This is the first scenario. Second thing is the timelines. Okay, say it is not that if I need to deliver a project say in 6 months, one module is going till 5 months. No, I cannot meet that. So if the overall project is defined for say 6 months, everything has to be broken down into smaller, we call it WBS. Okay, work breakdown structure. So every minutes have to be collected and segregated under work breakdown structure, and each WBS has to be aligned with a timeline. This is point number two. Only then every timelines get fixed. Every WBS is say what you call cumulative of all this WBS or all this uh, points will get you a project. So you need to fix, generate the WBS. That is where your role is. Sorry, my role is. So we need to first create the WBS activity chart, fix a timeline for it, plan what is the resource required for that, and next, what you call, we call it like measure. We create a KPIs, key performance indexes we create for every such WBS, and we measure it, keep reviewing it. So these are that's how say. Otherwise, you cannot let down any one particular activity dragging, and others are waiting for this particular resource to get complete. So if required, that's a scenario we need to, during our reviews, we identify where why it is getting delayed. We either add on a resource, add on a tool, support that resource so that he comes back on track. That's how the system moves.
Okay, sir. So with the next question, how do you balance short-term and long-term goals in your strategic planning?
Yeah, there's short term and long term. The goals are goals. And say ultimately both these goals get aligned to your what you call the vision of your company. Okay, so point is we are not doing anything which is outside the vision. Say for example, if the company is targeted to have a vision of being, say, as BEL, we are a professional, we are a company whose vision is to be a global leader in professional electronics. Okay, so the path is chosen. So if the path is chosen that I need to work on a professional electronics and be a world leader for it, I cannot be doing a, say, what you call automobile based industry. I cannot be working on constructing a car or building a car, though that is fetching me money. Okay, so if my goal, a long term goal is available, which is already set, my long term goals are already aligned. For long term goals, whatever is required, whether I need to say uh, develop resources for it. So, for example, if we have a long term, what do you call, a vision of being a, as the place where I'm working, we work on a this one called Smartcards. That is where my core competency is. Smart card, I think you have heard what is smart card, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we are manufacturing smart card for the armed forces now. We are giving their ID cards now. So this is my current project scenario. How is this getting aligned to my what you call company goal? Company is already focusing on professional electronics in defense market. So I am working for the armed forces, so I am aligned to that. That is what is my long term goal here. I need to give the ID cards. Currently I am doing it for navy. I am planning to do it for army, air force, all that. So this is my long term, in the sense, next 5 years goal. That's my 5 years goal. What am I doing currently as a short term goal? Currently I am making or developing the operating systems. I'm manufacturing the card, I'm designing for the card, I'm making say readers which can read this card only for navy. But when I'm doing that for navy, I always keep in mind, or the design is always built in, that it is interoperable to the systems which is coming further. So whenever you're doing a short term or a daily goal or a monthly goal, so this goal needs to be scalable or interoperable to your long term goal. I'm not telling everything gets aligned, but majority, every short term goal has to be made aligned to your long term. That's how we need to build the strategy. There are, but all said and done, there are certain things, certain activities which we keep doing on a day to day activity, might not get aligned to your focus, but that's how the life is. Not everything we do as part of the this one. Some things are there which one time job kind, we do it today, tomorrow, after say 5 months, there's no one to ask for it, so that closes there. But ultimately what is required for your vision, that track will always be running.
Okay, sir. So now I'll be handing over to Ashik.
Yeah, Ashik.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
My questions to you is regarding team and organizational dynamics. How do you have a positive and productive work environment within your team, and how will you motivate your employees to work in your team?
Simple thing I would say is trust building.
Okay.
That's a straight and say point blank statement.
Yes, sir.
The team should believe in you, and you should believe in what they are doing. Say if you start say lingering with them in every activity what they are doing, they lose hope and they'll tell, okay, if you want to say police me, or you start policing them in every activity, they say, okay, sit with me for every activity. That you will not be able to stretch or work upon that fashion. So you give him a task. The task has a deadline and a end result. So if the end result is working and the process what he is following is within the control, I'm not telling drawn line. You cannot practically you cannot draw a line and walk on the line. No, there will be ups and downs, and you should build a boundary limits, not a single line. Give him a boundary freedom to work. Let him put his head. Let him he know you know what his potential is. Motivate him. Let him work plus or minus. Ultimately you get a result within your boundary. Take it, move on. And that gives a lot of, say, if you give ownership to your resource, he will start owning it. But if you start policing the resource, he will expect you to do everything. So trust building, give him freedom. Only when you give him that freedom, he will start thinking or innovating also. This is what I have understood, and that's what I have learned from my uh, previous seniors.
Okay, sir. And one more question. How will you handle if there is any conflict in your team between the employees?
Their conflict, say, it cannot be resolved. It can only be managed. Okay, as they say, if there's a crack in the glass, you cannot stick it. So you can only continuously manage it. First thing is, if it is a simple problem, say he's crying for one of the resources crying for not getting the attention, the other one is getting the exclusive attention, yes, then it is your problem. You need to give time, equally time to both of them, one way. Other ways, if the problem is something else, that say lot of it is, say we are all are a social animal. So it is not that only professional problems comes into picture. The personal problem sometimes gets into the professional life, and that starts ego clashes, a lot of ego clashes, which spoils the project. Okay, so until otherwise you bring everyone on a single table with equality, you will not get things done. Some might be potentially or intellectually strong, some might not be intellectually strong, some might be very good in admin, some might be very good in technical. But you need to judge that the project requires both. Give them equal admin rights and equal technical rights. Let him excel in technically, let this other resource excel admin. So point is, you need to know what is a problem, listen to them patiently, unbiased fashion, then try to resolve to an extent what you can do. If it is not happening, say there are a lot of HR related issues which you cannot sit and handle. Okay, so there are policies for that. There are people to address that. All that will take a different path.
Sir, what opportunities do you see for the growth and development within the BL in the next few years?
Currently, BL is a Navratna company. Okay, so in the sense, last you can say every company has certain parameters which gets monitored. Okay, which gets monitored, based on which the company's progress or company's things are monitored. Okay, last year, that is financial year FY 23-24, we could achieve a milestone of say 20,000 crore. That was the top line. We call it the ROP target, or the top line which we could achieve. So we are Navratna for past few years. So management is already targeting to achieve Maharatna within next 3 years. So what is the requirement for that? The requirement for that gets escalated. That last year we did 23 crores, sorry, 20,000 crore. This year our ROP target is 25,000 crore. So next 3 years we'll have to grow with a profit margin of 5,000 crore every year to achieve this Maharatna thing. And point is, we are planning to be in Maharatna 3 years down the line. So this is on the top line, or only on the sales revenue. So similarly, once the top line grows, your profit will grow, your diversify, because simply you cannot get business from anywhere. You need to diversify yourself. You need to work on your customers. You need to work on export, all that. So prospects are good. We already have sufficient order book. Only thing is we have to see how we meet. So management is very positive that next 3 years down the line they will be a Maharatna company, from a Navratna stature to a Maharatna stature. This is where the prospects are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. What advice do you give to us, someone who is aspiring to be in the managerial position, and how will you maintain your work-life balance?
Maintaining work-life balance is a tough task, dear. So, advice to be on a managerial thing is, say one thing is, if it is, you need to be very clear on things like you want a career growth or you want a wholesome growth. So, or you want a personal growth. So, you want a wholesome growth, that's an ideal situation. Normally, that doesn't happen. We need to admit that. So if you are focusing on a career growth, you need to see that how personally or this one support you are getting it from your family, friends, all that, and you concentrate on the career. Say, and if you are, say, clear that career is fine for me, I am earning this much is sufficient, I want my personal growth, then you need to sacrifice your career to certain extent and work on the personal. Both the, say, you cannot sail on both the boat together. That's what I intend to say.
What advice would you, or what are the key lessons you have learned throughout your career that have significantly influenced your approach to management?
Learnings to approach the management. In what sense?
Like, what key lessons did you learn throughout your career so that you reach this position? You have reached this position.
Your
So,
key
what are some?
learnings. Key
Yeah.
learnings say the management what you call is expecting you to perform 100% all the time, every time. Okay, and practically it is not, which is not possible. But management is always considerable. Say they always ask you to or want you to give your 100% effort, be clear in what you are doing. In the sense, say they want you to achieve 100%, that is of no doubt, that because if you achieve 100%, the other person achieve 100% only, then management's goal will be achievable. But it is also say that it is not only 0 or 1. Management also is considerable always, any management to that matter, where yeah, they always will check or verify what efforts you put in. Okay, so the efforts also counts. So it is not only the result, it's also the effort that counts, and how sincere you are towards your efforts. So this is very prominently or dominantly seen. So if you want to achieve something, everything, if everything is possible, we are not say superhumans here. So things are like you need to put your sincere effort behind that. That is noticeable, that is noticed, and you need to clear, you need to be, say, what you call, both on your vocal and in your mind, you need to be very clear on what you are doing it and what you have achieved. Because you cannot keep, what you call, beating around the bush for the management. They normally, management reviews with statistics, with pure numbers, and if the numbers are not meeting their requirement, they are not here to address your problems. You have already reached a level that you need to address your own problem. If you are not able to do, seek their support. But they review only one statistics. So you need to be clear that what you can achieve, and if you are not able to achieve, what is stopping you and what support you require, so that crystal clear information to the management is one second thing which management expects from you. You cannot be beating around the bush. I will keep, I'll do, I'm working, these things are not considerable. They don't do that. They watch you, they work, they want targets, achieve targets from you, and they see your sincere efforts. So need, be sincere on your job, things will happen.
Sir, finally, winding up this session, I would like to give a situation like we all are facing today. Being pursuing engineering, we all face this today. So, first of all, like when we are about to graduate, this thing will always be in our mind, like whether to go for a good company or a startup. Like, basically, startup will give a like good amount basically. So, whether you to go for a good startup or a good company, or look for a MNC company with a low salary, then build up our career like in the future. So, which option would you like to guide us?
Here, my advice here is in the beginning of, or your, you can say, the beginning years of your career, okay, don't get lost in a big company for a small amount. Okay, say if you are technically sound, if you are, say, example, I'll tell you, you join a big company called Wipro or Infosys, any to that matter, they will give you a nominal salary. Okay, you're joining for a basic package of say 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs package. You get lost because you, from a college restricted environment, you move to an MNC wherein you are not compensated sufficiently. You will lose, you get lost there. So there are two options, good options available. One, you can join a technical startup even though if they are paying you less, provided conditions apply, there are sufficient chances for you to learn. This is one option, one good option. Second option is, if you are joining a big company, make sure you are compensated well. So that's what I'm telling. No, it is either money or technical here. So if you are technically sound in the beginning, because say you join an industry after your undergraduation at around say 21, okay, beyond 30 you have no patience to study. You get into your social problems, all sort of things will be there. You will not have sufficient time, energy to study. You think upon building up money at that point of time. So your chance of building your knowledge, technical knowledge, building your base experience is between that 21 to 27. So here if you get behind money, you should fall behind an hefty money. Otherwise, no point in getting lost in a big MNC. That's what is my suggestion.
Thank you, sir. It was actually a good suggestion.
Thank you, sir,
No,
for spending your valuable time with us for this interview.
No issues, sir. Thank you. Best of luck, by the way.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.